was saying, yeah, it's so the lady who's identified as the first victim in this movie, the Google cast list is showing a lady who's clearly not her.
I hate to say it, but if you're gonna hire on like 4 Norwegian chicks, please do not have 2 of them as blondes because it's just confusing and like I can't even remember the names of these ladies because it's like one's Claudia and then the other one's like a very generic Julia and Claudia and then like Harriet and then like
And it gets worse because the two main two of the three male characters are Daniel, fine enough, and then Andy and Arnold.
and there's a love triangle between two of the blonde ladies and
Yeah,
one of the other guys.
between Daniel, Julie, and Carol.
Also, like, okay, I want to talk about this director at this point because I don't think
Oh
we
yeah.
should. Is this our like supposed to be our April Fool's Day?
Yeah.
Cut this out if you're not
No, it is.
intending it. Okay.
Yeah, for a reason I will explain in after when we get into the intro proper.
I liked. Yeah, maybe we should get into the introduction before I go on off on my tangent here.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the podcast of the Living Zombie April Fool's Edition, reviewing what apparently Wikipedia is calling Zombie 7.
Huh? I didn't even read like make that connection.
Okay, so it's probably not okay. So again,
Yeah.
this franchise is nonsense,
Uh huh.
as I've explained before. None of these movies have maybe like three of these movies have any sort of connection to each other. Um, this one is, I think people are calling it Zombie 7 as a bit because it's a pseudo prequel to, and this might just be people playing a joke,
Hmm.
and I'm actually fairly certain it is people playing a joke.
Yeah.
But because this is the prequel, this is sort of like a spiritual prequel to Zombie 6 Monster Hunter, properly known as Absurd. But I have not seen like a VHS box cover
Hmm.
that like I said earlier, um yeah, no, I haven't seen like a proper,
This is
although the Google image is kind of ruined because Black Ops 7 is out. So there's Black Ops 7 zombies.
uh-huh.
So yeah, it's not yeah.
Fair enough. It is really hard to get hits when you're like I'm not talking about like the multi-million-dollar selling video games. I'm talking about this niche 1980s Italian horror genre film. Like, and I was gonna talk about this director very quickly because apparently he had the balls to go out of his way and say, "Hey, let's make the Canterberries, but let's make it sexy," because that's one of his films. Another one of his films is just pirates, but sexy pirates, because that's another one of his film titles. Um,
He has written and directed several pornos.
yes, he has 200 film credits under his belt. And a lot of them are just, hey, let's take something and put sex into it. That doesn't necessarily need sex in it. I think one of the films he actually directed was speaking of uh Night of the Living Dead was erotic Night of the Living Dead because let's take zombies and make it sexy, I guess.
We may be coming back to that spoiler.
Okay.
Yeah. This is to such an extent where if you sort his films by like rating, because I was like, oh, I wonder what this rates as like among what his best films are. The so when you load up Letterboxd and sort by average rating,
Mhm.
you see about 12 movie, like 15, and then posters, and then 5 of them below they're like kind of obscured by the bottom of the screen. So that's you see like 20 film posters. 3 of the top of them are not blurred out because I need to log in to Letterbox
Oh, to see the adult
in order
content.
to see the uncensored. I can see like a synopsis of
Yeah.
everything, but in order to see the covers, I would need to log in, which I do have an account. I just need to, which you can check out. I have done a few reviews on that, but I do need to. I just don't feel like doing it. For the record, Anthropophagus is because that's the movie. I'll pronounce it properly once. Antropophagus.
Okay.
That is the only time I will pronounce this, pronouncing all
To
the
be fair,
letters.
that was one of my questions.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a 1980 horror movie starring Tisa Farrow, who is Mia Farrow's sister, and then George Eastman as the monster,
Uh,
who's also the writer of the
you
film.
also forgot to mention that it's Italian,
Yes.
which
Yeah, it is a
we probably.
spaghetti slasher movie.
Okay, first of all, what the fuck is spaghetti? Because I was actually going through, um, like some of his other filmographies, and it was like spaghetti western, spaghetti horror.
It's just a way they're saying it's Italian.
It's what?
It's Italian.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what they mean by that.
Hey, not to
uh,
play into any stereotypes
yeah.
at this point in time, but like, why don't they just throw the word pasta in there afterwards just to really
Um,
bring it home?
yeah. No, it's but yeah, it's mostly a term for spaghetti westerns, but I guess you can call it spaghetti. And there is some fuck. I watched the thing and I saw the interview with George Eastman where he said what kind of pasta they use in the scene on the cover, and I cannot remember what it was. Also, I am not Italian, so I don't know my pastas.
Either I know some pastas. Rigatoni. Rigatoni. It's not rigatoni. Damn it. Losing credit as you speak.
Yeah, no, it
Oh, and it's not Joe Eastman. It's Joe Eastman and Joe D'Amato? Digam
okay. Joe D'Amato's the
Yeah.
director. George Eastman is the actor in this. Oh, he's in Django. Huh. I just looked up the oh, no, he's in one of the Django sequels, I think. Or maybe that's the original one. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, he's his real name's actually like Luigi Montefiore Fiore because a lot of the Italian actors were taking American sounding names to
It's also kind of funny that this guy, Joe D'Amato, he wanted to somehow remain anonymous for all of his like pornography. Um, so he writes and directs pornography underneath his pseudonym, which I mean, I guess it's probably the 1980s, and you don't want to be like stereotype or typecast as like that director, but I mean, if you do 400 or 200 pornography films, like, you're probably that known as a porno guy at that point. Like, I don't think you're escaping it.
there are also some concerns about there all are also some legal concerns um because this is the uh 80s and 70s and whatnot, so there are some legal concerns about like being a guy who makes that sort of stuff. So you maybe try to keep it off your resume to a certain extent. Um,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. Okay, so pagliata is the type of pasta. So the famous cover of this movie's Blu-ray disc, um, or yeah, mostly the Blu-ray disc. They have a different poster you see, which just shows the character Henrietta popping out of a cask covered in what they've made to look like blood, but isn't blood, and like
Mhm.
holding a knife as like a central figure. But like on the 4K Blu-ray cover, which I paid $32 for a while
Yeah.
back, um, he is you get the iconic shot of the movie of the Antropophagus eating his own guts, which are made out of pagliata. It's very tubey. It's a very tube-shaped
Mhm.
pasta, and it's kind of like half made. Um, yeah, or payata, pajata, or whatever. I don't know how the Italians pronounce it. I'm of English descent, which is the opposite of Italian. Okay, so it's hold on. So it's not pasta. I was wrong. It's a it's no. He is literally eating. These are calf intestines, which have been made into a special type of yeah. It looks like pasta. Yeah, but yeah, it's made with calf and it's a calf intestines that he's eating on the cover.
It's gonna be always like you're always gonna hear these weird like tales from films like this. Also, I'd
Yeah,
like to point out that John Eastman or the George Eastman
George.
became famous as a villain in horror films because he's 6'9". They needed to specify that in
Yeah,
Wikipedia.
he is big.
So it's like there's been movies where they just like, hey, we need tall people
Yeah,
because like
he's a big boy. Yeah,
what's his face, um, Chewbacca, like was just cast basically before for his height specifically. I guess when you don't have a lot of things to do like in terms of special effects or like forced perception or like kind of these m- gimmicky tricks back in the day that we do nowadays to make things look or appear taller. You just kind of needed your go-to tall person to star in your horror films, and I guess like 6'9" is kind of a really big. I guess even for that time, like I feel like the height of people has been slowly creeping up recently, but like I think 6'9" in 1980 is like really tall. And I mean it is still very
yeah,
tall,
he's
but
and he's also like he was typecast a bit as like a they're
uh-huh.
calling it a heavy because he's just a big guy, and he was in like a bunch of westerns before this as like the big
Yeah.
bandit or whatever that they'd fight. He apparently fought Charleston Heston.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy from Death Wish.
Have we done Death Wish?
No,
Oh,
no, he's got yeah, he's a mustache guy. He's
okay.
from the '80s. He's also fought Django, like the original Django, not the
Remake. Is it a
yeah.
remake?
No, it's not a remake. It's just uses the same name.
Ah,
No, the '60s Django movies are very different.
okay.
Yeah, they're yeah, the '60s Django movies are like a white guy who carries around like a who drags around a casket with a Gatling gun in it. It's pretty good. The first one's pretty good. It's got a nice little theme song. I have it in a VHS.
It was also really disorienting this whole entire film because I got it on. Yeah, I was able to get it, and then like watching it, all the dubbed audio is completely and entirely different from all the subtitles.
Yeah, I think the subtitle. I've seen this in some versions. I got Mine were a little better,
Yeah.
but they aren't entirely correct. Also because I turned on both the subtitles for the English, like it was just like a like as like a reading aid, and then I also had on the subtitles for the original Italian,
Yeah.
even though I was listening to it in English. So yeah, there are scenes in this movie where like people are saying thing where like a subtitle appears and no one's saying anything on screen.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
It's kind of
just because it's cheap.
really funny, but
Yeah,
there's some definite like translations from the Italian to, like the original
yeah.
Italian in the opening sequence that you really don't
Oh,
need um
yeah,
what like subtitles for, and like somebody's
yeah,
like nice dog or something like that, and it's like word for word in English essentially.
yeah. Yeah, there is some of that. I know there. This movie is noted by Joe D'Amato of being one of the cheapest ones he's ever made, which is weird, but because this is like a bunch of location shooting. Yeah, this has a bunch of location shooting in it. I don't. Yeah, it's wild. It's like, oh yeah, he's got two. He's like got like three major locations and had to like bring everyone onto like different islands and shit. And he rented like a big ass boat and everything. Yeah, it's also one of it's also a film that's one of the infamous video nasties, which are these I think they're banned film. They were banned films in the UK.
Yeah, and I think
Um,
even when it
yeah,
got the USA release, I feel like it was or maybe I'm misquoting the bands it was in. Like they had to cut it down from like 96 minutes to like 82.
which yeah, it's weird that they even. Also, absurd or Zombie 6, whatever. It's also on the. It's also one of the actual video nasties. Also, several other films that like that have been made by like these guys. One of the actor for Carol, she was in Cannibal Ferox, which was also one of these. Um, I'm not sure if any of these guys are. Yeah, yeah, just lots of different movies that have made on a lot of them Italian movies. I think of, and yeah, like I've said, we've vaguely covered. Oh, also Zombie. I guess Zombie 2 is one, but though it's on the softer end. And there's also just some films that were on it and got dropped, including like The Evil Dead. Yeah, but yeah, stuff like that. A few things we're going to end up covering on this spin-off show over
Yeah.
time. But yeah, so this is I'm not going to talk too much on the controversy here, but yeah, it's definitely a very decent. It's got a lot of decent things. Tisa Farrow is considered a draw for this. She's in a she's done it. She's known for being Mia Farrow's sister, but she's also been in her own movies. She's actually in Zombie 2, as a reminder. This is one of her last like films that she
Huh.
does. Yeah, so she was active for 10 years for the 1970s. Really, I don't know why she quit particularly, but yeah, it's pretty decent. She's most. I don't think she ever got into any of too many of the big American films. A lot of European things. I think she's in this because she's dating like Joe D'Amato's brother. Oh, she has, but she did show up back on TV as a I think something about herself. Actually, it's a documentary about. It's a she shows up in a Woody Allen documentary. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, she hasn't really. That's her most recent film credit, if you can call it. Yeah. So before we get into plot, I gotta ask a question
Sure.
of you, Cody. When did it become clear to you that they were gonna eat the baby?
Oh, a very like straight off the beginning.
Yeah, this is a weird thing. We get foreshadowing for the eventual baby eating scene. It's wild.
It yeah, you don't need a very microscopic lens to be able to figure out that within the first 10 minutes rather that the pregnant lady was gonna die or something even worse was gonna end up happening there. So
You know what? I guess I haven't really seen I hadn't seen clips from this in a long while before I watched it, so I had forgotten that was like a scene, but I did know it happened.
yeah.
So like when I actually saw it on screen, it was like, oh god, that's actually worse than I thought it was gonna be. That's another thing to see like the entire scene in its entirety. But yeah. So the film opens. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is an April Fool's episode because it's not a zombie movie.
Yes.
Same with Zombie 6, which is why we only covered it briefly. So yeah, it's not really a zombie movie. There's some. It's even more tenuous. It's maybe not even related, but it's even more tenuous than Zombie 6 was. Yeah, it's just a bit of a joke thing. It wasn't worth covering as like a full episode as like anything other than a joke. I do like this better than Absurd, which was Zombie 6, which I think I'm just going to call Absurd for the rest of the
Yeah.
episode. But I do like this better because I did also rewatch Absurd before I watched this, and I was like, I realized how much I hated Absurd.
I was
Absurd is a terrible
yeah,
movie.
trying to read the plot description on that just very briefly and it got weird. I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
how best to describe that.
I did a Bluesky post about it, and I was like, yeah, I forgot that this movie has the stupidest child character to be put into film or cinema, or film or literature. Like that kid was really stupid in that. And there's some dumb scenes in this, but nothing even kind of compares. Uh,
Fair enough.
but yeah, no, but I do like this a fair bit better, even though this comes out later. And probably next year we might be doing Antropophagus 2, which I guess would also be Zombie 6 because that's the order this is going in. Because this movie is produced before Zombie 6, so it even can't be Zombie 7. And this film is sort of I should also mention a spiritual. Absurd's like a spiritual prequel to this film, or a spiritual sequel to this film. It was going to be a direct film sequel, but George Eastman, who also writes that one, was just like, no, no. So he made it separate. But they did eventually make someone eventually did make an actual Apropophagus 2 in the year 2022.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's very
Huh.
recent. So that might be what we're doing next year. And because it's that's the sequel to Zombie 6 or the Zombie 7, but Zombie 6 becomes for Zombie 7. That means that Anthropophagus 2 is also Zombie 6. For those doing their red cork boards at home, red string boards at home.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of zoned out all of that because
Yeah,
it is an insane timeline to be like,
yeah. It is. I mean, I love the insanity of the timeline.
okay,
It's
fair enough.
it is charming. Um, just like I know, like everyone, someone's gonna be like in the comments about this, it's just like, oh well, this isn't actually Zombie 7 or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, at this point
It's
in
just,
time,
yeah, I want to be taken along for a little bit of a journey, and granted, this is also way better than like Zombie 5.
and
This was
also
way better, more fun.
this isn't really zombies at all.
No, yeah.
Like,
So it's
if
not a
you were
zombie
like
movie. But
really,
then again, neither is Zombie 6. Zombie 5's not one, even though it has like three zombies in it.
mhm,
Um, but this is way better than Zombie 5 was.
yeah,
Uh, it's probably better than Zombie 4, honestly, if we're just talking about films. But enough about the tier list. We'll get into the plot.
fair enough.
So the film opens, and I don't know if this you got this in your version, but my version opens with a title screen saying the Savage Island, which is an
Uh,
alternate name for this film.
now I can't remember.
Yeah, it depends on the cut you get of the film.
Yeah,
I think there's like a trailer. The 4K version is drawn from like a 2K version, which has been upscaled, and that's just how that works. Other alternate titles for this film, other than Zombie 7, which isn't even worth putting on the Wikipedia, there's also Antropophagus the Beast, and the Grim Reaper.
I don't know. When I read that, first of all, I thought maybe we're reviewing a werewolf movie. To be fair, because I misconstrued the anthropophagus with the anthropomorphic, which is very different things. But um, also, like the Grim Reaper doesn't really fit it, and neither does like. Okay, maybe this is Savage Island is probably like the biggest like continuity for the film to be like named.
That kind of
Yeah.
works.
And I don't understand the whole anthropophagus like analogy. Maybe it's something I'm missing in like translation or
The name Anthropophagus is like a little bit of a butchered version of the word anthropop is like it's Greek for man eater.
okay.
So it's yeah, it means cannibal.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think there's Greek mythology of a character of the same name who
Yeah.
was
Yeah, this yeah.
known for eating man.
There's a there's a Shakespeare character who's called like Anthropophagy. This is also this is also a movie that takes place in Greece. So that's another part of this. But yeah, so our movie opens to a village, and we see a couple walking down the village. Not the lady who is these are the first and the people credited as first and second victim, but notably these are not. At least the lady is not the character displayed on Google. The lady who's the guy who's the second victim, he might be. No, actually, I don't think the second victim guy's either. I think that's coming. That's also drawing from like a later actor by the same name. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's also a different guy. Yeah, no, that's a different guy entirely. Yeah, no, mind you, they're extras, so they're not like big DVD people. But yeah.
Andropahagi?
Oh, and yeah, this is I'm talking about Mark Logan and Simone Baker, who are like credited as those are I guess their like actor names. But those are yeah they're drawing and Google just grabs random pictures. from other people of the same name. Anyway, these are some German tourists who go to the beach. The lady who is the first victim, she takes off her clothes so we can see her in the bikini. She swims into the ocean. She's swimming around as her boyfriend leans back and listens to some music on his big 1980s headphones. And while she's out there, she sees that a boat is out to drift. She goes to check it out, and then she is pulled underwater, where she promptly explodes in the pink mist, which isn't entirely fair. I think different renderings of this film, it is more of a red color, but in my render, it looked like pink mist. It was very pinkish red. The special effects in this movie are spotty. There's a couple of them that look pretty good. Some of them look bad.
Fair enough.
And yeah, eventually we get like a shot from the killer's point of view as he walks onto shore and spooks the character who is credited as the second victim, who we get to see him get a. Sorry, we don't get to see this happen, but we see a quick jerk of the camera, and then a cleaver is embedded in a dummy's skull.
Yes.
But this is actually a bit more defensible because it's only on screen for a second, which won't be the case for a lot of these. And yeah, this is sort of implied to be like a while before the start of the film. Next, we cut to our main characters. Julie, played by Lisa Farrow. Rubina Ray, played by Rubina Ray, playing Ruth. Or nope, that's not wrong. Ignore that. Mark Bowden playing Daniel. Saverio Vallone playing Andy. Serena Grandi playing Maggie. Zora Kurova playing Carol. Margaret Mazzaniti playing Henrietta Rita, or otherwise known as Rita. Bob Larson playing Arnold. And I think there's maybe a couple other characters, but they die quickly and we don't get to learn their names. But I think there's one more guy. But he dies real quickly. So yeah, they meet up in Athens, which is actually filmed in Athens. You get to see while they're driving around, you do see the Parthenon in the background. Andy goes to pick them up in a very nice Volkswagen van, which someone is very jealous and really wants. I'm sure.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice looking van. Anyway, he picks them up and he goes to take them on a island hopping cruise, getting onto this really nice boat. On their way over there, they meet up with Tisa Farrow's character Julie, who is coming along to catch a ride. Apparently, she is going to go take care of. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Henrietta is not a main, not introduced yet. She is. Julie, T. Sparrow's character, is catching a ride to this island to go take care of Henriette, who is a blind girl. And if you know you're Joe D'Amato, you're not feeling safe with her, because one of Joe D'Amato's motifs apparently is that he likes to get disabled people killed in his movies. Yeah. I'm also just now noticing that the picture they bring up for George Eastman is not George Eastman. Like, that is a different guy by the name of George Eastman. Like, that's gotta be some sort of old politician or something. Oh yeah, no, it's not. They're showing a pic in the cast list. They're showing like a picture of American inventor John Eastman.
Yep.
Who's like one of the guys who invented the Kodak camera.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah. No, I don't know why why is Google being so bad? Like a few of these pictures are right. That's definitely Tisafaro. That's Joe D'Amato. That's Severo Vallone. That's Mark Bowden for sure. Those are Serena Grandi, and I'm pretty sure that's Margaret. Bob Larson's picture might also be wrong, but I didn't notice it all because it is an older guy, and he would be an older
Hmm.
guy right now. Oh yeah, no, they're showing a picture for Bob Larson. They're showing a picture of some American track and field guy for some reason. God, it's bad. Yeah, this is really bad. Actually, I'm surprised at
And the
this.
guy that they're showing a picture of apparently had a pain disorder affecting his spine, and he eventually committed suicide. So it's kind of sad.
No, it's nuts. Yeah, I don't. What is going on, Google? This is what happens when we cheap out. Anyway, um, so yeah, they're all getting on this really nice boat, which yeah, it's wild that this has like such a that Joe D'Amato makes like a comment, makes comments about this being such a cheap movie because he gets like a lot of location budget here, which I guess. I guess maybe it shows in the effects, some of which are really bad. But one thing to note that is that Zora Kurova's character is pregnant. She was, I believe, from what I've heard, she was 9 months pregnant. She was, sorry, no, Serena Grandi's character was pregnant. Maggie. My understanding is that she was 8, 9 months pregnant when they were filming this movie, which is probably why she's not in it terribly much. Um, she's in the Athens scenes. She's in a like at the boat scene at the very some of the boat scenes at the very beginning, and then she disappears for like a large chunk of this movie. Um, and then doesn't appear for till the end, where she doesn't really do much. And like we said, they immediately go about foreshadowing that this woman is going to have her baby get eaten. So yeah, we do some stuff here. We eventually get to our first island after people are talking on the boat. There's some character development. It's revealed that Carol, Zora Kurova's character, she is a big tarot card person. She apparently had a fling with Daniel, but yeah, she's apparently a big thing. And she tried to read it using tarot cards to read the baby's fortune, the unborn child's fortune, and she gets nonsense, which gives her the conclusion that there is no future for the baby. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. So we get to the island. Maggie immediately sprains her ankle, and they end up sitting on the boat for a little bit because her and one of the other character whose name I don't think I can find. Yeah, no, they don't even name him on this. But there was another guy. I think he's the guy that owns the boat. Um, they don't really talk to him much. Uh, but they go to. She sprains her ankle as she's leaving, so they have to put her. She has to stay on the boat for a little while they figure out where they're going. I guess the ship captain he goes to get her a bucket of water to soak her feet in, while the others go wander into town. When he's going to go fill the bucket, which he's doing with a bucket with a rope on the end of it, and just grabbing some seawater, he gets pulled overboard by something unseen, and eventually Maggie goes over to go find the uh, fill the water bucket herself. She pulls it out of the water because it's hanging off the edge of the boat with a rope, and then she puts her foot in it, only to find the ship crewman's severed head in there. And this is the worst effect of the entire movie. Like it's literally just like a cosmetology practice head or something. and then the boat drifts off into the ocean. Yeah, scary stuff. Not really. They really undercut it with the bad head model. Yeah, I cannot stress how fake the severed head looks. However fake you think it looks worse. Twice as worse.
Um,
So the rest. Oh, go ahead.
apparently
Go
I'm
ahead.
a day off. Chuck Norris died yesterday. No April Fool's joke or anything while I was
Yeah,
at. I just
yeah.
didn't
They
realize
announced
that.
it today.
Huh. Saw it on Facebook.
Well, they announced it today, but they announced it
Huh.
today, but he passed away yesterday sometime. Yeah. I guess they had pulled him into the. I had heard from what
Yeah.
I heard, they pulled him into the hospital um, last night, and he passed away
Oh, damn.
sometime
Sad.
over the night. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. It makes you wonder. So is the entire Earth gonna shift to entomb
I
him,
like to
or is it
think
just
that
gonna be the state of Texas?
he's our anchor person, and the timeline's gonna slowly collapse here.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the Yeah, no, it was Anchor being in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Yeah. God, I hope not. He's gonna be Mr.
Yeah.
T or something.
Yeah. Well, that was me learning about it in real time. So.
Yeah. I tell you to watch the Delta Force episode, but I don't know if
Oh.
it's very flattering toward him. Yeah, we did a Delta
Okay.
Force
Yeah.
episode.
Our episodes.
It was this was a while ago, but it was it was like that really pro-Israeli
Huh.
military movie about the hijackings.
For
Um, Delta Force 2 is good if you want to watch a Chuck Norris movie and you need and you want to watch a movie with him in it. Delta Force 2 is pretty good. You don't need to watch Delta Force
yeah,
1, but Delta Force 2 is pretty good.
we've been
I
at
like it.
this a really long time. I completely
Yeah.
forgot Delta Force
Yeah, no,
was
that
a
was an
movie
early
that we
episode.
even covered, but
Yeah, that was like episode 10 or 20.
huh.
Yeah. Um but yeah,
But
anyway, the rest of the party goes on to island, the island that we had seen earlier in the movie, and they find it basically abandoned. No one is seen. They eventually see a lady wandering about the place, but she doesn't stop to talk to our heroes, and she disappears. Eventually, they're wandering around, and one of the men runs past a room with a corpse in it. And of course, when one of the women need to pass the room, the corpse falls over, and it's clearly been dead for quite some time. They decide they want to leave the island, obviously, and they find that the sailboat has drifted away. They don't have a good understanding of why that happened, but they're really worried
yeah,
about Maggie because she's still in the boat. So they end up staying in one of the houses overnight. Daniel does a jump scare with the cleaver prop from earlier in the movie, which is always a really egregious jump scare when they reuse the killer's innocuous prop, because it is definitely the same cleaver that was used earlier. Daniel and I think it's Maggie. No, not Maggie. Probably Carol are walking through the this house they're in, and eventually she is the cat that's been playing all the music for this entire movie falls from the ceiling onto a piano. I should also point out that there's also just this terrible piano music they use at several points through the movie. It's not very good. I don't like it. It's also very badly recorded, even on my version. Clearly made with some sort of cheap piano. Yeah. So the composer of this film, which I guess the kitten's name would be Marcello Gimiondi, of those famous Italian catmen. Yeah, who lived from 1928 2003. Really long time for a kitten to live, honestly. And frankly, the kitten looks really good for 1980 because that would make the kitten like 52 years old at the time of filming. So that's kind of impressive. You're all getting
Yes.
insufferably annoyed at my very terrible cat joke. Uh, but so yeah, we get jump scared by this cat that falls from the ceiling. It literally just someone from off screen just dropped a kitten onto a piano keyboard.
What a dick move.
Yeah, I don't know if it crosses into the animal cruelty lanes, but then again, they use a skinned rabbit in a scene in this movie, so I don't know that we're getting any PETA approves here. So I guess technically an animal was, yeah, technically
Yeah.
there were animals that were harmed in the making of this film. Because, yeah, no, there's at least two. I mean, wait, can you get that approval if there's like meat shown in the movie?
I
Probably
yeah.
can, but still. Like, is that just like an animal safety thing, or like is it like a? Yeah, this is actually an interesting
Huh.
question. Uh, yeah, because yeah, I actually don't think those guys are vegan to that extent. That do that. So after that, we get our second jump scare of our title of one of our. This is the poster that you see on Wikipedia, where the character Henrietta bursts from a wine barrel and stabs Daniel lightly. So she's screaming, and then Julie runs into the room and identifies Henrietta and calms her down. Um, as they're treating Daniel's room, Henrietta explains that there's a bad man on the island who smells of blood, and that everyone's just sort of disappeared, and she's not really sure because she's blind.
Also smells of blood. Isn't
Yep.
that like
Oof.
a
Yeah. No. It's just.
misnomer at that point in time? Like, does blood really have a smell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'd say so. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being crazy and I gotta stop listening to fucking medical advice from the book series of Twilight. But wasn't that like a big. Oh no, it was the taste of blood. They were talking about how blood doesn't taste like anything in Twilight. And I'm like, blood
What?
definitely has like a taste, but
Yeah. No, it's like a coppery thing.
yeah, tastes like iron
Yeah. Or
essentially.
iron. Yeah. That's I got my
Yeah.
metals wrong, but yeah. Um. But yeah. Yeah. No, there's a definitely yeah yeah and you get I mean, there's also like meat smell, but whatever. Neither here
Yeah.
nor there. So they end up settling down for the night. After Henrietta gets to sleep, Daniel and Julie are in a room with her, and Daniel decides this is a brilliant time to flirt with Julie. And at this point, Carol walks in, and Julie runs after her to apologize, and they end up running outside, and Carol traps Julie in a graveyard through some maneuvering. So yeah, that amounts to nothing. It doesn't actually endanger Julie at all. But yeah, not the first we'll see of a graveyard in this film. But yeah, while they've been doing this, Arnold and Andy went to go to one of the earlier buildings they had been in to get some antibiotics to treat Daniel. So that's a thing. After Julie gets free of the cemetery, she bumps into Arnold and Andy, and they go back to the house. Carol does not turn up for the rest of the night. These scenes are littered with some day for night shots of varying quality. Some of them looked okay, some of them didn't. Like a lot of the things in this movie. Before the three of them get back, though, Henrietta smells the villain of the movie in the house. So Daniel gets up with a knife and goes to search for him. He comes and then he comes back. He looks around, doesn't see anything. So he goes back and he goes to lock the door, which he does. And apparently the Antropophagus was standing behind the door. So he's locked Henrietta in a room with the Antropophagus. She screams, and Daniel has to break back in, and Daniel tries to stab the Antropophagus, but the Antropophagus overpowers him, and the Antropophagus does a vampire on him, bites into his neck, rips it out. So, yeah. Henrietta is left alone. There's not really an explanation for this, but I can see possibly some reasons for it. It's left unsaid, but yeah, I think that's pretty spooky. But yeah, for whatever reason, the Antropophagus doesn't hurt Henrietta. So that's no one wants to say fortunate, but yeah. So at this point, Arnold and Andy and Julie arrive back, and they find that Daniel is dead. We cut to the next morning. Everyone's walking around. They're just like, oh yeah, what is that guy? And they're just thinking, probably just some lunatic, I guess. Whatever. And it's not clear that the Antropophagus is like a supernatural being. He's pretty tough, but he does die to like or he does get injured in very pedestrian ways. Not like in the way that Jason Voorhees does. Or whatever. He's just like a really tough guy. They find their way to a big mansion on the island, where the mistress of the island is met. Who they explain that her backstory is she was the sister to the big shot on the island who him and her brother the big shot went down within a small plane with his wife and son, and that leaving her as like the main like person on the island. This character we know is named as Ruth Wortman, played by Rubina Ray. They eventually go to wander. They see her and go to wander into the building to go ask her questions. Ruth responds to this intrusion by tying a noose around the balcony, around the staircase railing, and then jumping off with her in the noose. No one's quite. It's hard to say why she did this for sure. Possibly because of guilt. This will get explained a little bit later, but it's actually a pretty shocking scene. I will say that. Does it make sense? Maybe, but it is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up taking her down. They find that Carol is in the building, and that Ruth have been letting her here to rest. So, yeah, that's a thing. They reveal that Ruth had like killed herself. Arnold and Andy see that the sailboat has been drifting back to shore, so they go to go check on the boat, which is what they say they're doing. It's not what they actually do. They just sort of wander about for the rest of the movie, not doing the thing they said they were going to do. But in the meantime, Julie has wandered downstairs to search around, and she finds a hidden passageway behind a mirror, which she throws a vase at, destroying the mirror. Notably, it's not a very well hidden passage. because it's literally just like a cabinet with a mirror on top of
Isn't
it
that
that's
like
been
just
placed in front of a door.
notoriously a trope where they're like, "Hey, we need to find
Yep.
a
Mhm.
secret passage," and then somebody in like frustration ends up throwing something at something, and then it
Yeah.
shatters, and there's the secret passage.
Not done well though,
Like I don't know.
because yeah,
I guess trope would probably be the best word for it, but
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's the proper usage of the term. Um, but yeah, and it's like it's really bad because I can just kind of see the door behind this mirror. Yeah, because it is like it's a big door,
Yeah.
and she's just sort of put some furniture in front of it,
Like I think
like a lot of furniture, like a big piece of furniture that basically covers the door, but I can see the door behind it. Julie goes into this room and she finds a journal belonging to Ruth, which explains that her brother had actually survived the crash and come back to the island and started killing people, and she's been covering it up. So I
yeah,
guess
but like
that's what's been going on.
how long does somebody have to be sitting there eating people
Yeah.
for it to be like because like this lady comes along I want to say it was Julia in the beginning or maybe it was
Mhm.
Rita who says like this island here is uninhabited and there's only like a few tourists that come in every once in a little while like that's a very big backstory and then all of a sudden they're like okay so he's been cannibalizing people for like the last 20 years. I guess the guy's like quote unquote presumed missing. So I mean he could have been there for a pretty long time and we don't exactly get a very good like time jump or anything from like the point in the beginning to the yeah.
Um, there is a time, like I don't know if they say exactly hows, but it's been at least a few months while the monster's been on silent.
Okay.
So like this took at least a few months, maybe a couple of years, because Julie was on the island before that happened, because she's the one who is able to explain what the mansion is. So sometime between when she left last and when she is coming
This
back.
answers absolutely zero questions at this point in time, but
Yeah.
it kind of narrows it down, I guess. Like just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a reasonable amount of time. It is also a little bit implausible that like I don't know. They don't. I mean, they never like establish that this guy's like any super strong.
Mhm.
It's a little weird that he managed to kill an entire island worth of people,
Yeah, but
which would be at least in the
you've
dozens.
got that like that guerrilla warfare tactics going for you where like
I
people aren't
guess. Yeah.
expecting to be straight up murdered, but like when I
Yeah, I
first
guess.
started watching this, I thought there was like this hostile situation going on where this lady's like hired to like lure tourists into this guy who's going to eventually murder and cannibalize them, but that didn't end up being the case in
Yeah.
maybe I'm just like really pessimistic about like millionaires at this point in time where I'm like, yeah, that's completely plausible where a millionaire gets a taste for human flesh and is like, hey, I'm going to pay you copious amounts of money to lure people to my island and then eat them. So,
In the meantime, Arnold wanders into a catacomb, which is a real catacomb that they found. Some of the skeletons, some of the bones and shit they find in this place are real, among the fake ones. Although not fake enough, because when the crew was cleaning this place up, they took some of the real
it's
bones.
just fucking weird.
Yeah, and George D'Amato had them for a
That's
long
just even
time.
fucking weirder.
Yeah, no, he refused to like return them.
It's like such a dick move too.
Uh,
Like
yep,
especially
which is weird because I heard he was like a fairly
like
nice
if
guy.
you were like at all superstitious or religious or any of those and you're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
my final resting place definitely depends on like where my body's laid to rest. And some dickhead is just like, hey, I'm never going to give these back because I'm a dickhead. Then, like, in theory, you're just like stuck in James D'Amato's house for the rest of your life.
So
And
yeah,
I'm probably butchering this
um,
guy's name. It's probably not D'Amato because I'm pretty sure James
no,
D'Amato is
yeah, yeah. No, they've been pronounced. People pronounce it Joe
okay,
D'Amato.
Joe D'Amato. Okay, I'm saying
Um,
James D'Amato, and
yeah,
James D'Amato is the
yeah,
uh DM for campaign podcast, which is an actual play of
yeah,
at first it was Star Wars, and then he eventually went on to become the um
yeah,
I do believe it was a Skylanders game, but I could be wrong.
yeah. Joe D'Amato, real name Astrade Ariste or Aristide Masasi.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I can't pronounce that. I'm yeah. Yeah, no, it's just yeah, no, it's a hard name to pronounce. We get a brief flashback after we get a brief flashback here where the Antropophagus we get the Anthropophagus's backstory, which is that after they had crashed into the ocean, I guess the boy had died at some point, and they were all him and the wife were starving, and he was wanting to eat the boy so they could survive, and the wife doesn't like that, so she steps in, ends up getting stabbed, so he eats them both, and I guess lands on the island eventually and eats everyone else.
Sure.
Yeah. It should also be noted that the room that Julie uncovered is just filled with dead
Yeah,
bodies.
also I'd like to point out the idea of like this guy is just like, I guess after a while probably a human meat has the same issue as like um any other meat. Like eventually it'll go really bad. So I mean, I guess he like started eating somebody, it went bad, and then he moved on and ate more people, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't like to like
maybe.
trying to figure out the semantics of it. I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, he does leave a lot of
Like
bodies lying
my
around.
point earlier was like, yeah, I kind of get the fact that like you're slowly losing your humanity and going insane if you're eating human flesh to survive. There's also like the mad cow theory that like if a cow eats a cow, then the cow ends up going insane. That it would also happen to humans. I don't know if that's actually the case. I'm not 100% sure.
Mad cow was like a different thing. It was just like a disease that I think it was
Yeah,
prions. But like yeah, I guess some idiots were like feeding cows cow meat
yeah,
byproducts because it made the cows beefier, and that made mad cow. I don't know if it was super transferable to humans IRL, but it caused a big scare. Some of it might have just been because the Americans were pissed that we wouldn't go to Iraq with them or whatever. But whatever. Anyway, besides the point. Yeah. So Anthropophagus corners Andy, who has found Maggie, who was apparently here the whole time. I guess. Not entirely clear why. Um, Andy tries to fight off the Anthropophagus, and he gets stabbed, gets overpowered, just like Daniel had been. Um, and he goes to attack Maggie, and this is where he eats the baby. And he doesn't just eat the baby. You're thinking, oh, eats the baby. He like rips open the stomach and goes. No, no, he reaches his hand in there in like and just pulls the fetus out and takes a bite. In actuality, this is a skinned rabbit covered in red sauce.
Sure.
George takes some bites of a few gross looking foods in this.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be paid good money for like
He might have been. I don't know how much money he made on this.
having to do something like that.
I don't know what his compensation. I don't know
Too
what his
low.
compensation was.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I think anybody, if somebody's like, "Hey,
Probably.
take a bite of this dead rabbit,"
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, "No," and then they're like, "Hey, we'll give you like
Yeah.
$100,000," and I'd be like, "Maybe," like, but it's also 1980s money, so
He's also the writer on this film, so it
okay,
is his
fair enough
idea.
too.
Yeah. No, he did come up with this, and he says he came up with it because I watched an interview with George Eastman that was on my Blu-ray, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I like to put those. I put those scenes in there because Joe likes them." So yeah, he
Mhm.
eats a baby, and then we cut back to Carol and Henrietta. Carol goes to go find Julie, who has apparently just been sitting in the room with all the dead bodies, like reading Ruth's journals.
Must have been
Wild thing to do.
really enticing journals entries, like some really spicy
Yeah.
shit in there or something. Because I mean, you'd think
Or,
you'd
yeah,
run
I
out of
don't
the
know.
room
Oof.
after you see one dead body.
Yeah, which she reveals too, even though you can see like one of the dead bodies has like an exposed hand underneath it. So she didn't need to pull any of the covers away, but she does. But anyway, Carol shows up, and and Maggie's just and Julie's just like, oh yeah, this is really crazy. He's a really crazy guy. And then she turns around and Antropophagus has slit Carol's throat. Julie then flees and manages to take Henrietta into the attic where they hide for a bit. Antropophagus manages to sneak around and find his way to the roof, where he punches through the roof and rips Henrietta through a hole in the wall, a hole in the roof that he punches, and then she dies, and then yeah, she dies of those injuries. So it's just Julie here. Julie takes a pickaxe and puts it through the roof in exchange, and stabs the Antropophagus into the neck, causing or into the leg, causing him to roll off the roof. She ends up going out there to check on him, which she shouldn't have. She goes, finds that he's in a well. They both fall into the well. She's caught by like a tether, which holds her above. She manages to get out. And just as Antropophagus is going to attack her, Arnold shows up and pickaxes the thing in the guts, which will probably fall out. The Antropophagus bites into the guts, which are made of calf intestines, and then the movie's over because I guess the thing decided that oh, I'm meat, I can also eat myself.
Yeah.
They do. Everyone does acknowledge that the script for
Yeah,
this movie
okay,
is
yeah.
kind
I
of
was
shit.
about to bring that up. Yeah, I was like, this feels like really bad
Yeah.
final act. Um, and even like bad second act. Like you have a half decent like script
Yeah.
from the beginning, and then once you start diving into it deeper, it just kind of loses its potency.
There's decent set pieces and everything. Like there's lots of like good there's well shot scenes, and like several of them are just undercut by these really stupid things that happen.
Like I kind of expect this from like a college film where you've set your characters in motion, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, we need a um draw to a conclusion here, but also like we need like some character development for a main antagonist. Like you can't just have a madman, you got to give him a backstory. Let's show a flashback where he's stranded on a random desert island with his wife, and he's just this strange millionaire, and like why can't people just be cannibalisms for the sake of
Yeah,
being cannibalisms? So, like cannibals. Why do you have to give them like this whole elaborate like plot as I said earlier, where you have an eclectic millionaire who's like wants to eat people.
yeah, I probably been done, but yeah, it's interesting, but I think there's a lot of really good visual language in the film, but
Yeah.
the script's just so weak. Yeah, there were like some really good shot movies and like good shot scenes, several disturbing bits, and I liked it. Um, but I don't know. It's just it's got some things that hold it back. What do you
I'm
give
gonna
the
say
movie, Cody?
like I don't know, maybe like a 7 out of 10. I don't really like to think about cannibal things. It kind of grosses me out.
Yeah,
So the fact that
it is.
they like jumped the
Yeah,
shark and ate the baby is kind of especially for I guess like
yeah,
like 80s, it
um,
just feels kind of like it's like shock value for shock
yeah,
value at that point in time. Like
it is.
yeah,
Yes, which it is. Yeah, it is shock
but I
value for
mean I
the
guess like
sake of shock value.
when you're kind of
Yeah.
like pushing the boundaries, and I guess like the early 1980s, and I mean I guess you generally kind of got away with it considering the UK was the only place where they were like, this is a
Mhm.
little too much, guys. Maybe tone it down.
Yeah, and they're pretty strict on stuff, but yeah. Um, and yeah,
Hmm.
it's I'm kind of at a 6. Like it's got some good scenes. It's just not very well written. But it is probably of the quality you could expect, and it still beats
Yeah.
the shit out of absurd. I'd much rather watch this than absurd. Um,
Feel like I should
because that's just a
eventually
way
sit down
dumber
and watch
movie.
it, and then also make you watch it just to piss you off at this point, because you've harped on how much you've actually hated this film
Which one?
a couple of times.
I mean, we did talk about it. I
Yeah.
did talk about it a little bit. Um, I didn't make you watch it because there wasn't any
Yeah,
zombies
there's
in it.
no
But
zombies in this one either. It's a really
yeah,
weird line.
no. But yeah, this is why this
Fair
is an
enough.
April Fool's joke, and this is
I
way
mean,
more fun.
like, define zombies at that point in time, because I mean, technically the guy's insane, and technically he's eating human beings, but he's not transferring like the zombie virus or anything.
Yeah, no, he's just like a mad cannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we've done other films where there were just mad cannibals, and it was also called zombies. So,
Oh yeah. But yeah, and he's a bit of a vampire. He bites two people in the
and
neck.
yeah, I think you
He's
you
as much
brought
of a
up the fact
vampire
that
as
this
he's
guy
a
isn't
zombie.
like shown to be like supernatural or anything, but like he's got weird
Yeah,
strengths for somebody who's like ripping out throats and like
yeah,
I don't know, I'm feeling my throat right now, and I feel like that would be really hard to do.
yeah. It would be. He is like very strong. He's just not. I don't think he's more indestructible. Like
Mhm.
he's not like Jason. Like Jason would have tanked a bunch
Okay,
of
fair
this
enough.
shit. I'm not sure what we're doing next. I did manage to track down an actual Saskatchewan movie from the 80s. I don't know if I'll do it. I'm
Is
gonna
it the
watch it
painted
first
door?
before I
Because I swear
commit
to
to doing
fuck, I
it on
don't
the
want to
show.
do the painted door.
No, 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 no. This is a full. This is I think we talked about it a little bit. It's the
Oh,
Hounds of Notre Dame
yeah,
or Notre Dame. Which is about like a priest who was a hockey coach for the Notre
yeah.
Dame Hounds. But I gotta watch it first, see what the deal is with it. Yeah, it might be an interesting thing, and we got some other stuff that I
Mhm.
kind of want to look into. Oh, there was another thing I was looking into, but I gotta figure out what it was. And yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure yet. We'll see you guys a little later. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Facebook and whatnot. Buy my book, The Pennsylvanian by Kyle Brokenshire. Say bye, Cody.
Bye.